everybody, how's your summer? Or winter if you're from Australia or something. Look, let me potentially save you some time. I'm not going to talk a ton about Leafs news or hockey or hockey news in this video because none has happened! What about that story about how the NHL isn't going to allow players to play in the Olympics even if they're in the minors? It's stupid! What else do you want me to say? This is going to be more of a vlog, but like not like, hey bro, smash that like button, like a regular vlog, like with me talking. It's going to be a little bit of hockey in there too, obvi. First, a little bit of podcast news. Have you been enjoying the podcast lately, or are you falling behind? That's a shame, because you should really catch up, because we've had some really good people on recently. We had Sean McKenzie join us in the studio, that was wonderful, and we had Mike Augello come on, and he was wonderful too. If you're not really a podcast person yet, we do it on SoundCloud, Podstitch, or iTunes. It's basically everywhere you can find a podcast. And we have our own YouTube channel, Steve Dangle Podcast. It's, you know, creative. Now, I got some good news and I got some bad news. Let's start with the bad news. No new episodes for a couple weeks. We go hard. I go hard, Jesse goes hard, Adam goes particularly hard. Adam has 19 jobs. I believe we have 2 best ofs in the works, and Jesse usually puts those together by taking your suggestions on the Reddit page. So go to reddit.com/r/Steve Dangle, because I have my own Reddit. It's so silly. And you can recommend whatever you want. I want that clip of Steve being an idiot. You got to be a little bit more specific and timestamp it. That'd be great. Now here's the good news. Now if you've stuck around for a long time, you know that during the summer we do 1 episode a week, and during the season we do 2. Usually we don't start doing 2 episodes a week until the season begins. I think we started a little earlier last year because of the World Cup. I don't think we officially start doing 2 a week until the last week of September. But unofficially, we're pretty much going to start doing 2 a week at like the beginning of September. The reason being, we have a crazy amount of guest books so far. Every year I send out too many invites, and it starts with, would you like to come on the show? And then once they say yes, it's got to expand to, okay, when you come on. Not all the people who say yes can find time to come on, and it's a mess, but it's a good mess. Who's coming on? Let me update you. Well, we just had Sean McKenzie on. We just had Mike Augello, aka Mike in Buffalo, on. If you haven't listened to those yet, you need to. 2 people with 2 very different perspectives on the industry, 2 very different paths. August 29th, we have Sportsnet anchor, host extraordinaire, and podcaster now, Carolyn Cameron, coming on. That'll be great. September 5th, we have Gus Katsaros coming on. If you've been a long-time podcast listener, you'll be like, oh, sick! If you don't know who Gus is, you can find him online at Kats Hockey, K-A-T-S Hockey. He writes for McKeen's, he does a bunch of scouting. He's just got a really interesting perspective on the game, and he talks about it just in a way that's smarter than I ever could. And that'll be particularly great because it's right around rookie tournament time and the hockey season finally starts to heat up. It's not like this August dead zone. And like after the World Junior Showcase, we're talking dead zone. Nothing's going on here. We got Mitch Marner's dad tweeting like workout videos. That's all we got. September 7th, just 2 days later. So this is when we start doing 2 a week, sort of, kind of unofficially. Guess who's coming on? Time for Tim and Sid. That's right. Tim and Sid are coming on the podcast. What? At the same time. If you don't know who they are because you like live under a rock or are American or something, they're Canadian sports broadcasting royalty. They have a show on Sportsnet. They were on The Score forever before that, and before that I think they were a podcast before podcasts were podcasts. I don't even know how they got a podcast back then. Now, that's just under a month from the time I'm making this video. Every other guest is over a month from the time I'm making this video, so we're not gonna say names, just in case. Tuesday, September 12th, we definitely have someone. I'm not gonna tell you who it is, but we definitely have someone booked. Really quickly, someone is either gonna come on September 14th or 21st. Those are both Thursdays. We're working on someone for September 19th. We have someone booked for September 26th. Not gonna tell you who it is, just in case. And we have a few others who have agreed to come on, but we need to find time, and that time maybe during the season, or I don't know. I'm just trying to put together the best podcast I can for you, okay? I love it. Now, a common complaint, or not even a complaint, just a question I get from people is, why can't you just have guests on during the season? Well, the answer is, of course we can have guests on during the season. But during the season, there's a lot of stuff going on, and stories happening, developing, and I want to talk about those things during the season while they're happening. And we have people come on all the time to help discuss stuff like that. We had Eric Engels on not that long ago to talk about the Habs. We always have Andrew Berkshire come on to talk about the Habs. Chris Johnson calls in sometimes. We had Elliot Friedman on at least once this season. But when I have a guest on, particularly for the first time, it's because I want to tell you who they are. Rather, I want them to tell you who they are. I want you to know their story. I want you to know their career path is a big theme. So that's the podcast news. That thing is my baby. It's me and Adam and Jesse's baby, and we cradle it together as 3 parents. And the whole point of that is we want to make it as good as possible for you, the listener. Listener benefit trumps everything. I just listened to Charlemagne's audiobook. It's really good. And in that vein, we're gonna really start ramping up the amount of videos that you see on that YouTube channel. If you've subscribed, you already noticed that. Speaking of YouTube videos, and a lot of them, 100 and 100 on the Sportsnet YouTube channel. So what that is we're doing 100 videos for 100 consecutive days talking about the NHL's 100th season. We go through all these crazy moments. A lot of you already know that. Well, the other day we filmed the final 30 videos. Yeah, that's right. We shot 30 in one day. It was hard. But fun. It's always fun. It's always a blast. The crew I'm working on this with are a bunch of incredibly smart and talented people. But what I got to enjoy about this one in particular is we shot some of the videos in Scarborough, and I'm talking like right where I grew up in East Scarborough. And then we got to film a bunch in Oshawa, so that was a lot of fun too. And for all the commuters, particularly in the Greater Toronto area, you know the struggle. You're coming in from the east, you're coming in from the west, all to go downtown to the office. Well, guess what? They had to come to me! I don't like traffic. Have I mentioned that on the show? But if you haven't yet, please check those videos out. I've seen some people on this channel like, make another video! Because it's been 2 weeks since I made the last one. Look! I'm in videos every single day for 100 straight days. If you missed me that badly, go to Sportsnet's channel! So shout out to Alessandro Labalsamo. He is the brilliant producer who came up with this concept in the first place, and shout out to the amazing crew. And to the places that let us film in their establishment, Mr. Bean out in Scarborough, Port Union and Lawrence, and also the Tartan Tavern. Anyone from Schwallywood knows exactly where that is. And also the GM Center. I almost forgot. Shame on me! It's been such a fun project to work on, and it's funny that I'm talking about it in the past tense because there are actually 60 more videos that need to go up. Now that all those are shot and ready for editing, I'm gonna really focus on the book, and I'm not gonna talk about the book too much more because I don't want to get obnoxious with it, and it's not coming out for a very long time, so I just need to sit down, shut up, and do it. My buddy Matt, shout out everyone named Matt. He told me about Stephen King's method of he basically wakes up in the morning, has a coffee, and does not leave his desk until he's written 2,000 words. I'm gonna try that. I'm also not Stephen King, so let's maybe 1,000? So far I've written about 9,000 words, and I haven't even really sat down and been like, alright, book time! Still a long way to go, considering it's supposed to be like, I don't know, 70,000 to 80,000 words. And lastly, not to make this too long, if you are looking to get into sports media, or if you're just looking to have some fun, listen to my words. Very often I get asked, hey, do you have any tips for how to get into the industry and this and that and the other? And what I often say is, look, if you want to write, just start writing. You don't need to pay for a blog to do that. You can do it privately. You can get your own free site. You can do all kinds of things. Just start writing. If you want to make videos, look at the website that we're on. Just upload a video to friggin' YouTube, man. So, on that note, upload a video to frickin' YouTube, okay? If you've ever thought about, oh, wouldn't it be nice to do what Steve does, but instead of the Leafs, it's for my favorite team, the Dallas Stars, or the frickin' whatever team, doesn't matter. If you have ever considered doing it, I highly recommend you start doing it soon. Here's why. Well, for one, you'll learn a bunch of skills, whether you use this for your career or not. You'll learn how to talk into a camera. I didn't take any on-camera courses in school. Not that I'm the best at talking on camera. A lot of it is stuttery Elmer Fudd, and I get the luxury of jump cuts. Also, I always say Elmer Fudd, and I mean Porky Pig, and damn it. Anyway, if you do jump cuts or a bunch of other things, you'll learn how to video edit, which is so incredibly important. You're not allowed to just be good at one thing anymore. That's really not how it works. You kind of got to be able to write a little bit and or video edit and or shoot your own stuff, light your own stuff. I don't know how to light my own stuff still. You want to know what this video is lit with? Have you ever seen? Have I ever showed you? That fire hazard right there. Shut up, I unplug it. No, but the main reason is this. If you're actually considering making videos similar to these ones, first of all, I don't care. A lot of people have been like, oh, it's like ripping you off. No, it's not. I didn't invent making freaking YouTube videos, okay? I'm ripping off Philip DeFranco with the jump cuts. That's where I first saw it. And I'm sure he ripped it off from someone else. I don't own jump cuts, I don't own screaming, and I certainly don't own screaming about a hockey team. You go ahead and do it. But even all the you can do it stuff aside, it just makes sense to start now. It's mid-August. It's even, you know, creeping early into mid-August, you know? If you are gonna start, you can start partway through the season for sure, but I think it's easiest if you start before. If you start before the season, there's all kinds of stuff you can talk about, especially if you're starting a channel from scratch. Who are the best prospects? Who are you looking forward to seeing going into camp? Then you can talk about whatever story you want. Maybe there was a big trade that you want to discuss. Maybe there's some questions you want to answer. Then exhibition games will start, and then someone will be a surprise player and you can talk about them. And then someone gets hurt and oh my goodness, what does this mean for the team? Does it hurt their playoff hopes? Who the heck comes in to replace them? Stuff like that. And then by the time the season starts, you got half a dozen videos under your belt. You're starting to get into a little bit of a groove, and then you're all nice and warmed up for the season. And then, oh, just forget it. You're just chugging along and you're just cranking out videos. So if you have ever thought about doing something similar to what I do, which I encourage you to do if it tickles your fancy, I think right now, in the little middle of August, is the perfect time. I wish I did it when I started. And I will leave you to snack on that food for thought. So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends it's muscle memory. It's muscle memory at this point. God, I miss you guys. God, I want hockey back.